Genesis chapter 11. And it came to be, all the earth had one language and one speech. And it came to be, as they departed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to each other, Come, let us make bricks, and bake them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower, whose top is in the Shamayim, and to make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered over all the face of the earth. Then Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And Yahweh said, Look, they are one people, and they all have one language, and this is what they began to do. And now they are not going to be withheld from doing whatever they plan to do. Come, let us go there and confuse their language, so that they do not understand one another's speech. And Yahweh scattered them from there over the face of all the earth, and they ceased building the city. That is why its name was called Babel, because there Yahweh confused the language of all the earth, and from there Yahweh scattered them over the face of all the earth. This is the genealogy of Shem. Shem was 100 years old, and brought forth Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And after he brought forth Arphaxad, Shem lived 400 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 35 years, and brought forth Shelah. And after he brought forth Shelah, Arphaxad lived 403 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Shelah lived 30 years, and brought forth Ever. And after he brought forth Ever, Shelah lived 403 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Ever lived 34 years, and brought forth Peleg. And after he brought forth Peleg, Ever lived 430 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years, and brought forth Reu. And after he brought forth Reu, Peleg lived 209 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Reu lived 32 years, and brought forth Serug. And after he brought forth Serug, Reu lived 207 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years, and brought forth Nachor. And after he brought forth Nachor, Serug lived 200 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Nachor lived 29 years, and brought forth Terach. And after he brought forth Terach, Nachor lived 119 years, and brought forth sons and daughters. And Terach lived 70 years, and brought forth Avram, Nachor, and Haran. And this is the genealogy of Terach. Terach brought forth Avram, Nachor, and Haran. And Haran brought forth Lot. And Haran died before his father Terach in the land of his birth, in Ur-Kasdim. And Avram and Nachor took wives. The name of Avram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nachor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Yishka. And Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terach took his son Avram and his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Avram's wife, and they went out with them from Ur-Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. And they came to Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terach came to be 205 years, and Terach died in Haran. Chapter 12. And Yahweh said to Avram, Go yourself out of your land, from your relatives and from your father's house, to a land which I show you. And I shall make you a great nation, and barak you, and make your name great, and you shall be a barakah. And I shall barak those who barak you, and curse him who curses you, and in you all the clans of the earth shall be Baruch. So Avram left, as Yahweh had commanded him, and Lot went with him. And Avram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Avram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired in Haran, and they departed for the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan, and Avram passed through the land, to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Moreh. At that time the Canaanites were in the land. And Yahweh appeared to Avram and said, To your seed I give this land. And he built there an altar to Yahweh who had appeared to him. And from there he moved to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And he built there an altar to Yahweh, and called on the name of Yahweh. And Avram departed, continuing toward the Negev. And a scarcity of food came to be in the land. And Avram went down to Mizraim to dwell there, for the scarcity of food was severe in the land. And it came to be, when he was close to entering Mizraim, that he said to Sarai his wife, See, I know that you are a lovely woman to look at. And it shall be, when the Mizrites see you, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they shall kill me, but let you live. Please say you are my sister, so that it shall be well with me for your sake, and my life be spared because of you. And it came to be, when Avram came into Mizraim, that the Mizrites saw the woman, that she was very lovely. And Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And he treated Avram well for her sake. And he had sheep and cattle, and male donkeys, and male and female servants, and female donkeys, and camels. But Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Avram's wife. And Pharaoh called Avram and said, What is this you have done to me? Why did you not inform me that she was your wife? Why did you say, She is my sister, and so I was going to take her for my wife? Look, here is your wife. Take her and go. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Chapter 13. And Avram went up from Mizraim into the Negev, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him. And Avram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. And he went on his journey from the Negev as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And there Avram called on the name of Yahweh. Now Lot, who went with Avram, also had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Avram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And at that time the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelt in the land. Then Avram said to Lot, Please let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. Is not all the land before you? Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I go to the left. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plain of the Yarden, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Amorah, like the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Mizraim, as you go toward Zoar. So Lot chose for himself all the plain of the Yarden, and Lot moved east. Thus they separated from each other. Avram dwelling in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelling in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent as far as Sodom. But the men of Sodom were evil, and sinned before Yahweh exceedingly so. And after Lot had separated from him, Yahweh said to Avram, Now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see I shall give to you and your seed forever. And I shall make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could count the dust of the earth, then your seed also could be counted. Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you. So Avram moved his tent and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built an altar there to Yahweh.